Dickinson here with Steve and Amanda Thomason of the Kitchen Table Reno. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining me.
Good. Thanks for inviting us.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, who are you guys? Where are you from? What's your story?
I'm Stephen Thomason. I'm actually from Las Vegas, Nevada, but I moved to Lake Tahoe in '99, and that's where I went to college, and then worked in various bars and restaurants while I was there, and then also went back to Las Vegas and worked on Las Vegas Boulevard at a few restaurants and bars down in that area.
Cool.
And then moved back 14 years ago now.
And that's
Tahoe.
and that's where we met.
Right on. And yourself, you're from not from Tahoe. You're from?
I'm from Massachusetts
Right.
originally. Moved to Tahoe in 2006, where I was working, hanging out, and then when I was about ready to move back home, I met this guy.
Well, there you go.
And
Right
here we
on.
are.
Yeah. So what is it that drew you to the restaurant business?
We both have been working in restaurants since
Right.
we were about 15, 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I started off working in some different pubs in Vegas, in the dish pit, and then bussing tables, and then prep cooking, and serving, bussing, bar backing, and then bartending. Just kind of worked my way through every single position over the years, and
Cool.
just always stuck with it. I enjoy it. you
Yeah.
know.
Fits like a glove.
Mm-hmm.
And how about yourself? Same thing?
Pretty
Yeah.
much the same.
Just
Grew up in
stuck with
restaurants.
it, yeah.
Studied hotel restaurant management in school, and then started working for some larger corporations. So then eventually we decided that we were done working for someone else, and we wanted to do it for ourselves.
Mhm.
So we've
Very
had our
cool.
other business, the local up in Incline
Right.
Village. It's a bar we've been operating since 2014, and then we were ready to do more. So we teamed up
Cool.
with Alexander Aliotto, and here we are in Reno.
Right on. And so what about this area of Reno made it enticing for you guys to...
Honestly, it's the neighborhood.
Right.
I've always loved this neighborhood in this area right here. I like the old kind of vintage style homes that are in this neighborhood, which is somewhere we'd like to end up being at some
Sure.
point. And when I saw the space, I just saw the massive amount of potential to build this up to exactly what the concept calls for. And then having the outdoor patio with the extra seating, you can do live music out there. On weekends, things like that. We just really like, we're not in Midtown, we're just off it enough to where parking's a little more accessible for customers to come in. It's not as a tight little area as it is down there, so we just thought this would be a better fit for us. Yeah.
Sure. Right on. And so now you've been open for how long now?
3.5 months.
3.5 months. And so far so good, I hear. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Because-
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
So in those short times, has there been, in the short time that you've been open, has there been like a memorable customer experience, or has there been any like feedback or anything that happened that really sticks out to you that makes you feel, that you've made the right move?
Oh yeah.
So I guess one of my favorite things that I've experienced so far is when customers and guests come into the restaurant, a lot of times they sit down and first thing they realize is that they know the table sitting next to them. And it just makes me so happy because we want to be a neighborhood restaurant. We want to serve great food, and we want everyone to be surrounded by friends and family. And it's neat to see that that's actually
absolutely.
happening.
That's great. Yeah,
Every night, someone, a table or a group knows another group, and then they end up, standing up and hugging each other and saying
That's
hi,
awesome.
and it's fun. That's the whole that's part of the concept, is that family friendly atmosphere.
Very cool.
So we enjoy that for sure.
Cool. And now switching to the menu, is there anything on the menu that you just can't keep, in stock or, serving? Is there anything that just keeps selling like hotcakes?
We should ask Anthony that question.
I know. We
But-
should ask him that question. Our chef knows definitely what's going quicker. I think one of our obvious standouts is the ravioli uovo that we have on the menu. That was created by Alexander Aliotto. He'd gotten that over the years in training as well, and people just flock for it. It's incredible. We've got I have a gentleman that comes in quite often with him and his wife, and he'll order 2 of them as soon as he walks in the door. And it's funny because he considers it his dessert before the rest of the meal. So they'll get 2 of those, and then they'll start working into some of our pastas and pizzas and things like that. But I'd say that the ravioli, and then also our chicken saltimbocca, we run into that quite a bit. And our pastas, it just depends on what night it is.
Right.
I mean, some nights it might be our pappardelle that runs out pretty quick, or it might be, so we're constantly making fresh pasta. We're constantly, trying to play catch up a little bit in that aspect, because we're going through a lot of food. It's incredible. I mean, the response has been far more exceeding what we had thought was going to happen initially.
Right.
So we're very happy to see that, and we just like seeing the smiles on everyone's faces. As they're eating the food and talking about it with one another. That's one of the other great parts is having a group of 4 or more sit down and just sit there and look at each other and go, oh, what'd you get? Oh, hey, can I try some? And you see them switching plates and really getting after it. And then, when we come over, the plates are empty. I'm like, well, I think we're doing something right. Well, chef's doing something right. Not us,
And then how about the other side of the bar, the other side of the restaurant being the bar? I know there's one in particular that my wife Megan really enjoys, is that spritzer.
She likes the Venetian spritz.
That seems to be a very, very popular one, and very unique as well, because I don't think I've seen that anywhere else. That seems to be a popular one.
Yeah, that was a fun one that I put on for winter.
Right.
I wanted to do a spritz, but not your typical spritz that you see. So we added this great Berto liqueur, which is an orange liqueur, among some other spices and things like that. Added that with some prosecco, some fresh cherries, little rosemary. It's a good starter or finisher to the night.
Sure. And then last but not least, you have a pretty extensive wine list, as we all know, very approachable, right?
Yeah.
So it's so basically when somebody says when you tell people that it's an Italian restaurant, how do you distinguish yourself from other ones besides the fresh pasta? That's basically what it's all about, right? Is the fresh pasta and different style, not your whole spaghetti and meatballs.
Exactly.
Approach
I'd
to it.
say more like a small plate, upscale type of pasta.
It's like a new take on old world dishes. It's not your traditional American Italian, which is not what we were going for. We wanted the more really homemade style. The sauces are homemade, the pasta's homemade. Bring that to an area that doesn't really have that as an experience.
And Alexander did that with Santa Fe.
Right.
He studied it for years, so it just was something we really wanted to bring to Reno.
Cool. Well, so far so great. Thank you so much for your time. And make sure you come visit them. They're at the corner of South Arlington and Plum Lane here in Reno. And they hope to see you there. Maybe you'll even see me there.